Olive was standing in a city street with a group of people taking pictures.
Hola, I am Bernat, your tour guide.
Said a young man to the group.
But I'm sorry, this morning's tour of Barcelona is cancelled.
I don't believe it. Excuse me, I'm Olive. Why can't we go on the tour?
Bernat pointed to the tourist train.
Our train has broken down and I can't get it fixed until tomorrow.
Well, perhaps we could explore on foot instead.
Oh no, Barcelona is huge. Too big to explore in one morning without a train. I will find a mechanic. Maybe you could all find a cafe or look at some sights close by.
So while the rest of the group went to sit in a cafe, Olive wandered off, looking for somewhere interesting to visit.
Oh, there's a nice little art gallery. I might pop inside.
Hola, welcome. I'm Joanna Bairo, artist. This is my gallery.
Hola, I'm Olive. I love these paintings.
Gracias. All were painted by me. They are views of Barcelona. But I have not sold one painting all year. I cannot get anyone to come inside and look. They are all too busy seeing the sights.
An artist with paintings she can't sell. A broken down tourist train. I think I may have an idea. Joanna, I think I know how to get more people to buy your paintings.
You do?
First, I need you to find me a tall, very long roll of paper.
You know, Olive, I think I have just the thing.
Joanna ran to the back of the gallery and brought back a huge paper roll.
Is this big enough?
Oh, yes, that's perfect. Now, we need to stick your paintings of Barcelona onto this roll.
Olive and Joanna worked together, sticking on the paintings. Then they carried the roll back to the tourist train. When they arrived, Olive rounded everyone up and made an announcement.
Bernat's tour of Barcelona is going ahead.
But the train is still not repaired, Olive.
Don't worry, Bernat. All you have to do is get everyone on board.
Okay then. Step this way, everyone. It seems we are going to see beautiful Barcelona after all. Okay, let our tour begin. We start by traveling along the famous street known as Las Ramblas.
Olive and Joanna unrolled the giant sheet of paper onto which they'd stuck Joanna's paintings. The tourists saw the paintings of Las Ramblas sliding by. It looked just like the real thing.
Next, we reach Gaudi's Sagrada Familia Cathedral. And now, the Parc Güell with its famous dragon. And finally, the home of FC Barcelona, the Camp Nou football stadium. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our tour of Barcelona. Thank you so much.
The tour was an amazing success.
If anybody wants to buy a painting, Joanna's gallery is open right now.
Everyone did want to buy a painting. In no time at all, Joanna sold every single one.
Thank you so much, Olive.
Yes, I am grateful too. You saved the tour today. Maybe you would like to help me on my train once it is repaired.
Thanks, Bernat, but I'm sure you'll be okay. Soon your tour of Barcelona will be right back on track.
They all laughed. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Greg, actually, I helped give a very artistic tour of Barcelona.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself floating in the sea on a bright pink lilo. She was wearing a life jacket and some cool sunglasses.
Well, this is very relaxing.
Said Olive. The sun was shining and there were 2 dolphins leaping in and out of the sea nearby.
Wahoo!
Olive looked around and saw a surfer riding a big wave and he was heading straight towards her.
Greg!
Watch out, dude, coming through.
The surfer shouted, but it was too late. He collided with Olive and they went flying into the air.
Whoa, wipe out!
Olive and the surfer both washed up on the beach where a big crowd was watching.
Oh dear, I'm sorry I got in your way. I'm Olive.
Hey, no worries, dude. I'm Sunny Ray.
Said the surfer as he shook seaweed out of his hair.
Oh no, my lucky surfboard has disappeared. This is the big Tube Master surfing competition. I'll never win it without my lucky board. Olive, could you maybe help me find it, please?
Well, I can try. Where do you think it could be?
Dude, it's probably caught on something underwater, but it'll be impossible to find. The ocean is so huge.
Olive looked out to the ocean and spied the dolphins leaping in and out of the water.
A lost lucky surfboard, some dolphins. I think I may have an idea. Sonny, follow me.
Olive and Sonny swam out to the dolphins.
Hello, I'm Olive, and this is my friend Sonny.
What's up, dolphin dudes? Hey there, how's it hanging?
We're looking for Sonny's surfboard. We think it's caught underwater somewhere. Could you maybe help us find it, please?
We'd be happy to help you guys.
Awesome, dude, thanks. Just hold on to our fins and take a deep breath.
Olive and Sonny each held on to one of the dolphins.
Let's go!
The two dolphins swam down to the seabed with Olive and Sonny clinging to their fins. They spotted Sonny's surfboard, but a giant clam had his big mouth clamped around it.
Hey, Mr. Giant Clam, can we have that surfboard back, please?
Sonny swam over to the stubborn giant clam and tried to wrestle the board out of his big mouth, but the clam would not let go. They all swam back to the surface.
It's no good. That big old clam isn't going to give me my board back.
There must be something else you can surf on.
I've got a great idea. Why don't you surf on our backs? Dude, I love it.
Yes, that sounds good. Awesome.
So Olive and Sonny hopped onto the dolphins' backs.
All set?
Yep.
Just then, a big wave curled its way towards them. The dolphins rode the wave with Sonny and Olive balancing on their backs, just as if they were on surfboards.
Extreme!
The crowd went wild. Olive and Sonny did some cool surfing moves. They looked amazing.
The gold medal winner is Sonny Ray.
And Olive won the silver.
You won the Tube Masters without your lucky board.
Dude, I wouldn't have been able to do it without you or the dolphin dudes.
Then something floated in on a wave. It was Sonny's surfboard.
My board, most excellent.
I guess that giant clam didn't need it anymore.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Bucket egg. Actually, I entered an awesome surfing competition.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was sitting in a moving chair high above a snow-covered slope. On her feet was some strange, long, thin planks, and she was holding two poles. Next to her sat a little elk.
Oh, hello, I'm Olive. What are these planks? And where is this flying chair taking us?
Hello, I'm Stefan. These are skis, and this is a chairlift that will take us to the top of the mountain. Then we can ski down it. Super cool, yeah?
Olive looked down and saw lots of skiers skiing down the slopes.
It does look like fun, but I've never tried skiing before. Is it dangerous?
No. I'll give you a lesson. Soon you'll be skiing down the mountain super fast, yeah?
Well, okay, yeah.
Olive and Stefan jumped off the chairlift and slid over to a small practice slope. Stefan showed Olive the basics. She wobbled, skidded, and kept falling over.
Skiing isn't easy.
But soon, Olive was getting the hang of it.
Well, like this, Stefan.
Well, kind of. Come on, let's ski down the mountain, yeah?
Already?
It's okay.
Said Stefan as he pointed to a sign with a big green arrow on it.
As long as we stay on the easy green run, you'll be fine.
Woohoo! This is fun.
Soon they were skiing towards a fork in the slope. The green run led off in one direction, but the other was marked with a black arrow. It was a really hard and steep black run.
Okay, Olive, we must keep to the green run here, yeah?
Warned Stefan, but as she reached the fork, a snowboarding chipmunk shot past, forcing Olive to swerve.
Gag, watch out!
And before she knew it, Olive was hurtling down the black run.
Olive, no! This is too steep for you.
Shouted Stefan as he skied after her. But Olive was going way too fast.
Wow!
The other skiers had to dodge out of her way. Olive reached a sharp bend. She couldn't turn in time and went flying off a snow ramp high into the air. Stefan flew after her. They both landed head first in a snowdrift.
Are you okay, Olive?
I think so, but now we've lost our skis.
Oh no, the snow's too deep. We can't walk down the mountain.
Olive spotted Stefan's rucksack.
What do you have in your rucksack, Stefan?
It's my emergency supplies, a first aid kit with some bandages and 5 big bars of chocolate.
Some bandages, some big bars of chocolate. I think I may have an idea.
Olive used the bandages to strap 2 bars of chocolate to her feet.
There you go. The bars of chocolate are skis.
But won't they melt?
Not with all this cold snow. And, the branches are ski poles.
Olive and Stefan grabbed 2 branches each, and soon they were skiing down the mountain once more, being careful to stick to the green run this time. At the bottom, they expertly skied to a halt and ordered mugs of steaming hot milk from a cafe. Stefan took the remaining chocolate bar and mixed it into their drinks.
Now we have hot chocolate, yeah?
Olive sipped her hot chocolate. It tasted amazing.
I do love skiing, but I think I love hot chocolate even more.
Super hot, yeah?
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Geg, actually, I've been skiing on a super cool black run.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing in a park surrounded by small, leafy bushes.
Hello there.
Said a sad voice. Olive turned and saw a gorilla.
Oh, hello, I'm Olive.
She replied.
I'm Keith. Would you be my friend, please? No one likes me round here.
Yes, of course I will, Keith. You seem very nice to me.
Olive took a step forwards and accidentally trod on something.
Oh, what was that?
She'd stepped on a tiny yellow car. It was squashed flat.
Oops.
I'm always doing that.
Olive spied a tiny little man running up to the car.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You just stepped on my cab, lady.
I'm very sorry. I didn't see it down there.
It was then Olive noticed that the leafy bushes were actually tiny trees in a park.
Tiny trees, cars, and people. Wait a second, I'm a giant ostrich.
And I'm a giant gorilla.
There were tall skyscrapers surrounding the park. Olive was nearly as tall as some of them herself. Then Olive heard shouting. She looked down and saw a crowd of tiny little people angrily shouting up at Olive and Keith and waving their fists. They started throwing things at Olive's legs.
Ouch! Ow! Careful!
They don't like us because we keep stepping on things.
Maybe we should go somewhere else, Keith.
Keith and Olive walked out of the park and down a wide avenue.
But Geg, it's really hard not to step on things. Sorry! Oh dear, sorry!
I know, it's a nightmare. Sorry.
Tiny people were running around and yelling at Olive and Keith. Sirens were going off. It was chaos!
I just want to go somewhere quiet where I don't step on anything or bother anyone.
Olive spied an especially tall skyscraper with a pointy top.
A super tall skyscraper, lots of annoyed tiny people. I think I may have an idea. Keith, why don't we get out of everyone's way by climbing up that skyscraper?
Oh, that's the Empire State Building. Great idea.
So Olive and Keith climbed up the Empire State Building. Since they were both giants, it didn't take very long to reach the top. But there were still people shouting at them from nearby windows.
Oh, I wish they knew I was friendly.
Olive saw a helicopter swoop in and circle round them. But something was wrong with the helicopter. The rotor blade stopped turning and it started to fall.
Quick, Keith, catch it!
Keith held out his hand and caught the helicopter.
Got it.
A woman jumped out and stood on Keith's hand, followed by a man with a tiny TV camera.
Whoa, that was close. Katie Waters, NYC News, reporting live. And we've just been saved by the giant gorilla.
All the people looking out of the office windows cheered.
Thanks for saving us. What are your names?
I'm Keith Kong.
I'm Olive. Pleased to meet you.
Can I just say I love New York? Sorry for squashing things before.
Well, you two are certainly a couple of huge New York City heroes.
As a thank you, Keith was given his own special area in the park, as long as he promised to, try and stop squashing things.
Thanks for your help, Olive. Would you like to stay for a bit and I'll show you some more of New York City?
Maybe next time. But today I certainly had a huge amount of fun with you, Keith.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I had a big adventure in New York City.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
This is a spectacular place.
Olive saw a man with a huge curly moustache. He wore a red and black tunic with a crown on the front.
I'm Olive. Where am I, please?
I'm Beefy the Beefeater. You're on a tour of the Tower of London.
He answered.
Heck, I'm in London.
Olive found a camera hanging around her neck and snapped a few pictures.
And if you look to your right, you'll see the ravens. Tradition says they must never leave the tower, or the kingdom will fall. And not a single one has. Not on my watch, anyhow.
Hello, what's your name?
Olive asked.
Roberta.
And why do you look so sad, Roberta?
Because I really want to explore London, like those tourists over there. I want to see all the sights, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and especially Trafalgar Square.
But of course you can't leave the tower.
Said Olive.
No, and Beefy is always watching and counting us.
So you need to somehow get away without Beefy realising.
Olive looked around and saw an ice cream van nearby. She also saw a lady tourist wearing a long black raincoat.
An ice cream van. A black raincoat. I think I may have an idea. Please, can I borrow your raincoat?
Olive asked the lady, who nodded. Then she bought an ice cream cone from the ice cream van. Olive put on the black raincoat and stuck the cone onto her own beak, using the ice cream to make it stick. She looked just like a raven. Well, almost.
I'll pretend to be you, Roberta, while you go to see the sights of London.
Wow, great idea.
When Beefy was looking the other way, Roberta made a dash through the tower gates. Olive tried to blend in with the other ravens, but she was so tall she really stuck out. What was worse, the ice cream cone was melting, dripping into a growing puddle at her feet. Beefy walked over and began counting the ravens.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When he got to Olive, he stopped and raised an eyebrow. Said Olive. It was a pretty good impression of a raven. Beefy shrugged and continued to count.
5, 6 ravens. Excellent.
But now, Olive's ice cream had melted so much, the cone fell off her beak.
Hang on a raven counting minute. You're not a raven. You're an ostrich. I'd better count again.
Oh no, he's going to realise there's one raven missing.
Beefy began to count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5?
But just in the nick of time, Roberta came swooping in over the Tower of London's walls. She landed just behind Beefy. Said Roberta loudly. Beefy spun round.
Aha! There's number 6, all safe and sound. What was I thinking? It's not like these ravens ever leave the tower. Not on my watch, anyway.
Beefy walked off to get his dinner.
No, us ravens never leave the tower.
Chuckled Roberta. This made Olive and the other ravens laugh too. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been a raven in the Tower of London.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing on a huge green lawn. She was wearing a little hat and a red, white and blue scarf. On the scarf was a little metal brooch. Olive looked up. There was a huge pointy tower tower in front of her. It looked just like her brooch.
Oh, that's a very tall tower.
It was a wonderful sunny day, and lots of tourists were happily strolling around. But there was also a snail sitting all alone and looking rather sad.
Excuse me, can you tell me what this beautiful tower is? It's so tall.
The snail looked surprised.
Don't you know? This is the famous Eiffel Tower.
It's beautiful. I'm Olive. What's your name?
I'm Michel Michisson.
Nice to meet you, Michelle. Why do you look so sad?
Well, I want to climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower to see the Hall of Paris. I have tried many times, but I am so slow that I will never make it before the sun sets. They say it is magnifique. It is my dream.
Olive looked around and saw a clown who was giving out big balloons to the children passing by. The clown accidentally let go of one of the balloons and it floated off into the sky.
Some big balloons that float up into the sky. I think I may have an idea. Excuse me,
Said Olive to the clown.
I wondered if you could help me put a smile on someone's face.
Of course, I am a clown. That's what we do.
Can I borrow a balloon, please?
The clown nodded. Olive took a big red balloon from the clown and tied it around Michelle. But nothing happened.
What are you doing, Olive?
Asked Michelle, confused.
You'll see. Can I borrow another balloon, please?
This time the clown passed a big blue balloon to Olive, who tied that to the snail too. Still, nothing happened.
Oh, you're heavier than you look, Michelle. I think I'm going to need to borrow all those balloons, please.
The clown gave Olive the rest of the balloons, and she tied them all over Michelle and quickly hopped onto his back as he started to lift off the ground.
Oh, Olive, this is amazing.
Okay, we're flying.
They floated higher and higher, passing the first floor of the Eiffel Tower, then the second floor, and finally they were as high as the Eiffel Tower itself. Michelle was thrilled.
Oh, thank you, Olive. Finally, I get to see Paris from above. There is Notre Dame, Sacré-Cœur, and the Arc de Triomphe. Everything is so amazing.
Okay, what a view.
However, after a while, Olive realised she hadn't thought about how they would get back down.
We can't float about here all day.
No. Besides, I really could do with some lunch, you know. Maybe a salad.
It was then she remembered the Eiffel Tower brooch attached to her scarf.
Oh, I know what to do.
She took the brooch off the scarf, opened it, and popped one of the balloons with the pin. Then another, then another. They started to drift slowly back down to the ground. People watching clapped and cheered as Olive and Michelle gently landed.
Thank you, Olive. You made me smile again and made my dream come true to see Paris from above. It was a marvelous adventure.
Yes, it was. I'm glad I managed to cheer you up.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Kirk, actually, I've been flying over Paris on a snail.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive had a scarf tied around her head, and there were huge sand dunes everywhere. The sun beat down, and it was very hot.
Phew, I'm glad I have this headscarf to protect me from the sun.
Exclaimed Olive. Suddenly, a man wearing long robes popped up from behind a sand dune.
Ah, finally I meet someone in this never-ending desert.
He seemed very pleased to see Olive.
Hello, my name's Olive.
Greetings, Olive. I am Ahmed, and you are very beautiful. I am certain you are worthy of many, many camels.
Oh, well, thank you, I think. Do you have lots of camels, Ahmed?
I do, yes. But a few days ago, there was a huge sandstorm. It was impossible to see, and when the storm cleared, my camels were lost.
Oh, maybe I can help you find them.
Oh, thank you, Olive. I've been looking for them for many days. You don't have any water, do you? I'm so thirsty.
Sorry, I don't. And I'm starting to feel thirsty too.
Olive spotted something on the horizon. It looked like a couple of palm trees next to a pool of shimmering water.
Ahmed, I see water. Maybe the camels are over there.
Olive rushed off towards the palm trees.
Wait, Olive, come back.
Called Ahmed, but Olive kept running. She really needed a drink.
But
she cried as Ahmed caught up.
Olive, that was a mirage.
What, Ash?
Sometimes in the desert, the heat and thirst make you think there is something in the distance that isn't really there. That is a mirage.
What are we going to do, Ahmed? I'm really thirsty now.
All we can do is keep walking.
So Olive and Ahmed set off. Soon the sun set and it was night. Olive gazed up at the twinkling stars.
Those stars look so beautiful.
Yes, they twinkle like your beautiful eyes.
Thanks, but let's concentrate on finding your camels.
Olive spotted a group of stars that made the shape of a camel.
Look, Ahmed.
Ah, yes, that group of stars is called the Humpy Camel.
Camels lost in a desert. Some stars called the Humpy Camel. I think I may have an idea. Maybe the camels would find their way by following the stars. So we should follow them too.
Ah, excellent.
So Olive and Ahmed set off, walking towards the Humpy Camel. Soon, Olive heard something carried on the wind. It sounded like disco music.
Egg! It's coming from behind those sand dunes.
Olive and Ahmed climbed over the top of the dunes, and on the other side they saw a huge lake surrounded by palm trees. Next to it was a disco, and dancing to the music were Ahmed's camels.
My camels, hello!
The camels were all sipping tall glasses of orange juice. A waiter came up to Ahmed and Olive with some drinks.
Thank you. You, a drink at last.
Olive, I would be honored if you would dance with me.
I don't see why not.
So Ahmed and Olive joined the camels for a good old disco boogie. Ahmed was an excellent dancer, and Olive was having an amazing time.
Oh, I could dance with you all night, Ahmed. But I think it's time I desert this place.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been partying in the desert.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.